Stop right there, outsider. The Dalish have camped in this spot. I suggest you go elsewhere, and quickly.
Actually, I've been looking for the Dalish.
I find that hard to believe. What business could we Dalish possibly have with a group like yours?
I'm a Grey Warden. I wish to speak with your leader.
A Grey Warden? How do I know you're telling the truth?
Many people go about pretending to be Grey Wardens, do they?
No, that's true. Perhaps I shall let the Keeper decide for himself. In the camp, I suggest you keep your hands to yourself, and remember that our heirs are still trained on you. Follow me.
I see we have guests.
Lovely. It's a whole colony.
Who are these strangers, Mithra? I have precious little patience and less time to spend on outsiders today.
This one claims to be a Grey Warden and wishes to speak with the clan. I thought it best to leave the decision to you.
That was wise of you. Masirinus, Mithra, you may return to your post.
Manuvinen, Keeper.
Now, allow me to introduce myself. I am Zathrian, the keeper of this clan, its guide and preserver of our ancient lore. And you are?
The Keeper. Does that mean you're in charge here?
I guide my fellow Dalish, and they follow my word out of respect. But I would still prefer to know with whom I am speaking.
My name is Julian. A pleasure to meet you.
Manners. From a Shemlin. Interesting. What might be your mission here? Have you come to spread news of the Blight? I had already sensed the corruption spreading in the south. The existence of the Blight is not news to me. I would have taken the clan north by now, had we the ability to move. Sadly, as you can see, we do not. I imagine you are here regarding the treaty we signed centuries ago. Unfortunately, we may not be able to live up to the promise we made. This will require some explanation. Please, follow me. The clan came to the Brazilian forest 1 month ago, as is our custom when we enter this part of Ferelden. We are always wary of the dangers in the forest, but we did not expect the werewolves would be lying in wait for us. They ambushed us. And though we drove the beasts back, much damage was done. Many of our warriors lie dying as we speak. Even with all our magic and healing skill, we will eventually be forced to slay our brethren to prevent them from becoming beasts. The Blight's evil must be stopped. But we are in no position to uphold our obligations. I am truly sorry.
Is there no way to help your men?
The affliction is a curse that runs rampant in their blood, bringing great agony and then ultimately either death or a transformation into something monstrous. The only thing that could help them must come from the source of the curse itself. And that would be no trivial task to retrieve.
I'm good at non-trivial tasks.
Within the Brazilian forest dwells a great wolf. We call him Witherfang. It was within him that the curse originated, and through his blood that it has been spread. If he is killed and his heart brought to me, perhaps I could destroy the curse. But this task has proven too dangerous for us. I sent some hunters into the forest a week ago, but they have not returned. I cannot risk any more of my clan.
I'll find this Witherfang for you.
I must warn you that more than werewolves lurk in the Brazilian forest. It has a history full of carnage and murder, you see. Where there is so much death, the veil separating the spirit realm from our own becomes thin, allowing spirits to possess things, living or dead. But if you can indeed help, then I wish you luck.
I have some questions for you.
Make them quick, if you please. I have much to do here. My apprentice Lanaya or Sayrel, the clan's storyteller, could provide you with answers just as easily.
Tell me more about this curse the hunters suffer from.
There is not much to say. It stemmed originally from Witherfang, but now any werewolf may infect someone with it.
So, did all werewolves everywhere stem from Witherfang?
No. The ones from this forest, however, do.
So if a werewolf bites me, then I will become infected?
It is possible, but not guaranteed. The only way to protect against the curse is not to be bitten.
How do you know if you have been infected by the curse?
You will know within a matter of days. you will begin to sweat and vomit, and most tellingly, your temper will become wild and uncontrollable. If that happens to you, you should seek out Witherfang even more swiftly. Your mission at that point will be rather personal.
How did this curse start?
That is a long tale I do not have time to tell. Ask Sayrel about it if you wish.
How do I find Witherfang?
Watch for the white wolves. They are his eyes and ears in the forest.
Underanitation, Grey Warden. My name is Lanaya. I am Zathrian's first, what you might call an apprentice, perhaps. I've been studying under the Keeper all my life. I am a bit curious of the outside world. Do you mind if I ask you a question or two?
You just asked me a question right there.
What an odd thing to say. I mean about the outside world, of course.
If you like, go ahead.
I hear the human cities are very large, thousands upon thousands of souls all packed together in their houses. Is that true?
Yes, some are larger than the eye can see.
How very loud that must be with everyone talking all at once. I try to imagine those of our people living in such a place, surrounded by walls of stone and indifference. It is a difficult thought.
It isn't an easy life for them, that's true.
I suppose you have met many of my kind in your travels. My heart goes out to them. It is said that one day we will have a land of our own. We Dalish gather the ancient wisdom in preparation for this. When that day comes, all elves, even those who have forgotten, will reclaim their former glory. I have a question, if it's not too impolite to ask. Do your people regret what they did to ours?
Some of us do. Not all humans are the same.
I see. That is difficult for our people to accept. Even if only some were in favor of what was done to us, the rest did nothing to stop it. A poet once wrote of them, before the fall of the Dales. Like dragons they fly, glory upon wings. Like dragons they savage, fearsome, pretty things. But you don't need me to quote poetry to you. Forgive me. Perhaps you have some questions of your own.
What does a keeper do exactly?
A keeper is, first and foremost, the leader of the clan. He decides where we go and when we shall move. He's also responsible for knowing the clan's ancient lore and passing it on to the others in the clan. Without a keeper, the clan's knowledge is lost forever, so the clan protects him like no other.
What can you tell me about Zathrian?
Nothing that you could not ask Zathrian himself. He is the keeper of this clan and has been for a very long time. He is also a very good man who has lost much. The Dalish are everything to him, and he would do anything to protect them.
Lost much? What has he lost?
He lost his family a very long time ago. I don't know the story, but I understand the circumstances were horrific.
Why are the Dalish so hostile?
They have reason. Since the days of Arlathan, my people have been either subjugated or homeless.
What is this Arlathan you mentioned?
It was our ancestral home, long ago when the humans first came to these lands. We were free then, and immortal. We did not know how to deal with the humans, and in the end, they turned their power against us and destroyed Arlathan. Our ancestors were enslaved, and our culture lost forever.
Wait, elves were immortal back then?
They died, but not of an aged body as other races do. Not until the humans came. According to the legends, association with humans caused us to quicken. Our blood sped, and we began to age. So we avoided them naturally. And then we were enslaved by them for 1,000 years. And in so doing, we all were quickened permanently and our immortality destroyed. Or so the old tales say.
But you could get your lifespan back, no?
In time and with seclusion. We Dalish have lengthy lifespans, and they will get longer. Zathrian himself has lived many centuries, though that is unusual even for us.
Does Arlathan still exist?
Not to my knowledge. According to the old tales, the human mages sank Arlathan into the ground, crushing it beneath the rock.
But the elves were eventually freed, right?
Yes, after a millennium of slavery, Andraste herself freed our people. She who was your maker's chosen.
But you don't worship the Maker.
We worship the creators, as we always have. We give thanks to Andraste for her part in our freedom, but we do not worship her, or her god.
Didn't Arlathan fight back?
The Tevinter Imperium was a force to be reckoned with. It was ruled by mages with powerful blood magic. Though Arlathan fought, they lost.
I can see why you resent humans then.
Shemlin, we call them. Quick children. I suppose it takes a certain arrogance to look upon another people as children, no? Perhaps we should be more heedful of our own role in Orlathan's loss. Even so, it was a bitter lesson to learn. One we are not grateful for.
But I'm not responsible for what's been done to the elves.
Aren't you? You're human. And to many of them, you represent the humiliations our people have suffered for generations. You may not have been personally responsible, but such feelings are not easily overruled by logic or fairness.
I wouldn't act like them. I would change things.
Oh? That is easy to say when you are not a homeless wanderer of a broken people. It is all we can do to cling onto our past now. Perhaps this may change one day, but I believe the humans would have to take the first steps, if they are capable.
Wasn't your homeland called the Dales?
That was our second homeland. Our first was the great city of Orlathan. The Dales came when they were freed from enslavement. Elves everywhere journeyed hundreds and thousands of miles to the Dales, eager to start their lives anew. They called it the Long Walk. They reached the Dales and made it their own. And one day it was taken from us too, and you wonder why we are hostile.
We few wanderers greet you, Shemlin. We understand you are venturing into the haunted forest to save our brethren. I suspect your efforts may be in vain. An entire group of our hunters went into the forest to do as you intend, and they have not returned.
Yeah, but they weren't us.
Ah, bravado. How encouraging to see it in our time of need. Our people lie sick and dying, but you boast for our amusement? How thoughtful.
You think sarcasm's gonna help you, do you?
Nothing will help us now. Least of all the meddling of an outsider.
You are being most unkind, Cyril. Would you refuse our hunters' help simply because of the hand that offered it?
You shame me, Lethalan. I have allowed my bitterness to cloud my better judgment. Forgive me, Grey Warden. It is most difficult to forget the lessons the Shemlin have taught us.
It is even more difficult when you live amongst them, trust me.
Perhaps I can yet make amends. Stay while I spin a tale for our children. And then I will tell you of the forest if you desire.
Sure, why not?
Come and join us then, all of you. Now, what say we tell the story of the fall of the Dales? Which of you children knows that best?
I think I do.
Yes? Then come, child. Oh, don't be frightened of the outsiders. Now, where do you suppose such a tale should begin?
When we were slaves?
Yes. Long ago, our people were slaves to an empire the Shemlin had built on the darkest magic. They took away our history and our language and left us nothing. And then that empire fell, and we were freed.
Because Andraste came with her army, and Shartan joined her.
Yes. Andraste, the Shemlin prophet, came out of the south and challenged the Tevinter Imperium. Our ancestor, Shartan, fought at her side. And when the rebellion came to an end, we were given a new homeland in the west, the Dales. We began to rebuild the culture and history we had lost in our years of slavery. We worshipped the creators and made the Dales our home. Perhaps you know what happened next, stranger. Do you know what happened to the Dales?
Something you think was unfair, no doubt.
But you do not. You must know a great deal more than we. What do you say, child? Can you tell us what happened to the Dales?
The Shemlin wouldn't let us be.
Indeed. They resented that we would not worship their maker, and they resented our ways because they were so different from their own. The Shemlin nations grew cold towards the Dales. They called us blasphemers and tyrants, and declared war upon us. A great crusade.
Not every human felt that way, I'm sure.
And which is worse? The actions of those who believed they were right, or the inaction of those who knew they were wrong? Oh, I am certain we played a part in our downfall. We believed that the Shemlin would not revoke their prophet's gift so lightly. We were wrong. They took our lands, forcing us to abandon our gods and live as beggars in Shemlin cities. But there were those of us who refused to abandon our ways. They emblazoned the symbols of the creators upon their flesh and vowed to keep their ancient lore alive.
That's us. That's the Dalish.
Indeed, child. We chose to wander, homeless, rather than be ruled by the Shemlin. And all our clans wander alone until the day we have a homeland once more.
And we bring the old ways back to our people, because they have forgotten it all.
For we are the Dalish, the keepers of the lost law.
The walkers of the lonely path.
We are the Elvenan, and never again shall we submit. And that is the tale of the Dales, stranger. Thank you for allowing us to tell it to you.
Perhaps you'll allow me to tell a story as well?
Perhaps another time. You are the guest here, and one who may yet prove of great help to our ailing hunters. Now, as I said I would, I can tell you what I know of the Brazilian forest. Do you wish to hear it?
Yes, tell me of the forest.
Our legends say that before the Shemlin came, the Brazilian forest was a place of our ancestors that predated even our oldest homeland. The people of the Imperium came here and gave the forest its name. If they found traces of our ancestors, we cannot say. If they did, those elves were slain or enslaved. We know only that a great many battles were fought here. These trees grow upon the graves of those who fell, Shemlin and elves both.
What does that have to do with werewolves?
So much death in one place tore the veil into the beyond. The Shemlin know the beyond as the Fade, the place of dreams and spirits. When the veil is torn, spirits pass into our world freely. The legends say that one great spirit possessed the wolf that became Witherfang, who passed its curse of rage onto men and created werewolves.
That's all I need to know.
One last warning. The forest is like a thing alive. It changes as it wills, closing paths behind you and opening up new ones. Too many have become lost within, unable to find their way out. Were I you, I would endeavor not to make the forest my enemy.
Actually, while we're here, have you heard of an elf named Daeneryn?
I appreciate you trying to find him, but what are the chances?
Anarin the healer?
You know Anarin?
He lives? No, it can't be him. Perhaps it is a common elven name.
No, I know of only one Anarin.
Ah, it makes sense. Anarin said that he was from the human cities. You are old friends, then?
Where is he? Is he in the camp?
If you seek Anarin, you must venture into the forest. He prefers to be amidst the trees and the animals.
Thank you all so much.
Andera Natishan, stranger. I am Athras. I hope the others have not been too harsh in their treatment of you.
They've been a bit suspicious.
It is not our intention to insult a Grey Warden. We are simply wrapped up in the plight of our hunters. It is easy to forget simple niceties at such a time. I understand you will search for the wolves in the Brazilian forest. I would join you, but Zathrian has forbidden me.
You don't seem very happy about that.
None of us are happy about this situation, and I least of all. But I shouldn't speak too much about this, especially with an outsider. I am sure you have little interest in my problems.
Please, I'd like to hear about it.
It's odd to talk so freely with a stranger, but perhaps you can help me. My wife DAII and I both fought the werewolves in the ambush. She was injured so gravely, the curse spread rapidly in her. Zathrian fought hard to ease her pain, but there was little he could do. And though he says that DAII is dead, he will not let me see her body. I am beginning to believe she became a werewolf, and that it is being kept from me so I do not go chasing after her.
And if she was a werewolf, and the elf chased her and then found her, what then? Sweet, blissful reunion?
I don't know. Maybe she would know me as her love, even still?
More likely she would love to eat you.
If I could just know if DAII is alive, or what happened to her, then I could be at peace.
I will seek her out in the forest.
I have an amulet made by our craftsman. It's not much, but I would be happy to give it to you in return for any news.
The Watchwolves have spoken truly, my brothers and sisters. The Dalish and the human of all things, to repay us for our attack, to put us in our place. What bitter irony.
You speak. I thought werewolves were savage beasts.
We are beasts, but we are no longer simple and mindless. Let that thought chill your spine. You speak to Swift Runner. I lead my cursed brothers and sisters to Turn back now. Go back to the Dalish and tell them that you have failed. Tell them we will gladly watch them suffer the same curse we have suffered for too long. We will watch them pay.
I'd prefer to talk to you. I mean you no harm.
Was it not Zathrian who sent you? He wishes only our destruction, never to talk.
You talk of Zathrian as if you know him.
We have never met, he and I. He would not survive the experience. I swear it.
Why exactly? Why do you hate him so much?
You know nothing, do you? Nothing of us, and even less of those you serve. You are a fool, and we are done talking. Run from the forest while you can. Run to the Dalish and tell them they are doomed.
I don't want to fight, but neither can I retreat.
I do not wish to fight you either, but we cannot trust you. Come, brothers and sisters, let us retreat. The forest has eyes of its own, and it will deal with intruders as it always has.
I shall do it. It be done. Come, let us end this. I suppose that could have been worse.
Who comes?
You're badly wounded. What happened to you?
We were sent to find Witherfang. Bring his heart. Attacked.
And Darren Atishan, Grey Warden. Our scouts saw you approaching and tell me you carry the body of one of our hunters with you. Ah, Dagon. He is wounded, but I think he will live. Mas Siranas, your help is appreciated. Come, Lethaline, let us take Dagon to the Keeper, and quickly. If we are lucky, we may still save him.
Please. Help. Listen. I am not the mindless beast I appear to be.
What happened to you?
I am cursed. Turned into this creature. The curse, it burns in me. I fled into the forest. The werewolves, they took me in, but I had to return. I had to. You are human. I was once an elf, one of the Dalish folk. You know of my clan.
Your keeper Zathrian is the one who sent me here.
The keeper sent you? Then you seek Witherfang.
I do. Have you seen him?
I have, but it is not what you think. But there is no time to explain. You must listen. My name is Delilah. My husband, he is called Athras. Please, you must bring him a message. The staff I wear. Bring it to him. Tell him I love him. Tell him I am dead, and with the gods, I beg you.
I spoke to Athras. He worries about you.
I want him to be at peace. He is a good man. Please do not let him suffer thinking of me. Oh, the pain. The curse is fire in my blood. Please, hand it for me. Hand it quickly.
Very well. I will end your pain.
Gods, bless you.
I do not think we made any progress. We could barely see our way through the mist, and now we are back at the beginning again.
Oh dear, oh dear. Not a werewolf, and not a spirit even. What are the woods coming to?
A madman hiding in the forest? Who are you?
Questions, questions, always questions. They say it was questions that made me mad. Will you do the same for you? Ask a question and you'll get a question, but give an answer and you'll receive the same. Oh, I do so love to trade.
You're quite mad, obviously.
No, that is not a question. And if it be an answer, it be an answer to a question I've not asked. Have you no sense for the rules?
Be careful, Grey Warden. This is no ordinary man. He is a mage. Driven mad, perhaps, but still powerful.
No fair bringing mages to a guessing game. Will you play by the rules or not?
Then, would you like to ask me a question?
I think it is your turn to ask, is it not?
How do I enter the center of the forest?
It's where the wolfmen have their lair, but the trees will block the path. There's a way to fool the trees, of course. Trees are thick, wooden things, after all, easily fooled if you know how.
And how do you fool them?
Oh my, no, that's quite a question. I think that answer deserves something a little extra first, don't you? I stole something from an oak tree some time ago, and it won't stop pestering me for it back. Would you be so good as to turn it into firewood or something equally dead?
An oak tree? What are you talking about?
Oh, just some large, talking, rhyming oak tree that's missing its acorn now. He's far off to the southwest, deep within the forest. Rather hard to miss.
What do you mean by missing its acorn?
Just what I said. That's what I stole, after all. Weren't you listening? So the oak needs to be chopped down.
I'm not going to chop down some tree because you asked me to.
It's up to you. Yes, indeedy. Your choice. Time to move on now.
Do you want to ask me another question?
I think it is your turn to ask, is it not?
Who are you?
Who am I? Why do you want to know? Did they send you? Did they tell you to ask?
Who's they?
Oh, did they tell you to pretend to be an innocent stranger with a head full of fluff and nothing? I'm trickier than I look. I survive still, and the trees, they leave me be. I've won. They will never find me. Never.
I found you.
So you did. But I'm watching you. If they sent you, I'll know. But that's all I have to say about that. An answer for an answer. There you go.
I think it's your turn to ask me a question.
May I? Oh, yes, I think I might. Now, what shall be the first? Oh, yes. What is your name?
My name's Julian.
Uh-huh. So you claim. They sent you, didn't they? But you're too tricky, and you're trying to fool me. Well, I'm on to you, just so you know. But it is your turn to ask now. Ask. Ask away, I dare you.
Do you have anything to trade?
Let's see. I'll trade you an acorn, a helmet I found, or a book I finished reading years ago, provided you have something interesting in return.
I want to trade for that acorn.
Oh, and what do you have to trade for the acorn?
How about some gold coin?
Coin? What possible use could I have with coin? Do you see a money changer about?
Well, how about this book on elven history?
Elven history, you say? That might make for good reading by the moonlight. Or it'll be better than using leaves. Give me that. There. Now that's done. What else have you got on your agenda,
Your turn to ask a question.
May I? Oh, yes, I think I might. Where were you born?
I was born on my family estate in the north.
So you say, fiendishly clever of you to maintain this facade for so long, but I will see through it yet. Mark my words. But it is your turn to ask now. Ask. Ask away, I dare you.
So, you live in this stump?
Yes, I live here, and it's not as bad as you think. Where else to go, eh? I must stay away from them. They're out there and looking. They will take your secrets, oh yes, all of them, and leave you empty. But that's all I have to say about that. An answer for an answer. There you go.
All right, you get one last question.
May I? Oh, yes, I think I might. Let's see. Do you have a knowledge of the arcane arts?
Can't you tell?
If I could tell, I wouldn't have to ask you now, would I? Do you have the knowledge or not?
No.
Oh, well, that's disappointing. But wait. What if you were lying? Ah, you thought to scamper away without suspicion, did you? Well, I'm onto you. But it is your turn to ask now. Ask. Ask away, I dare you.
I don't have anything else to ask.
Oh, no? Well, you just let me know if you change your mind. Run along and tell them whatever you wish. I intend to keep digging.
Friends, turn back, please. These woods are a danger to those who do not know the paths.
Aneurin?
Wait, I remember your face. But younger, more impulsive, stern. Wynn?
I thought they had killed you.
They very nearly did. The Templars found me while I was searching for the Dalish. They ran me through and left me for dead.
I brought this on you. Oh, I was a dreadful mentor, harsh and impatient. I am sorry for the way I treated you.
I've put that behind me, and you should too. I didn't fit in with the Templars in your chantry. My path lay elsewhere.
Irving is a reasonable man. He will find some way for you to return. The Circle needs new blood. It needs to change.
I have fond memories of Irving. He was always kind to me. I will consider your proposal, and perhaps I will speak with Irving. However, I promise nothing. Now, it is getting late and you have much to do. You should be on your way.
We could stay longer if you wish it, Wynn.
No, we've spent enough time on my personal affairs. It is time for us to move on.
Look at this. It's the hardened sap of a tree native to this forest. It's been something of a lucky charm for me, and now I want you to have it.
Very well. I'm grateful. May your gods smile on you, Aneurin.
And on you.
What manner of beast be thee that comes before this elder tree?
How is it you can talk?
How do I speak? The same as you. I form the words and sound them true. Now I have answered a query of thine, but thou hast yet to answer mine.
Can't you see me? I'm human.
Ah, yes. I remember thy kind, so brief of life and all but blind to the peril you cause, the lives you take. Such chaos is sown within thy wake. Allow me a moment to welcome thee. I am called the Grand Oak, sometimes the Elder Tree.
The world is certainly full of marvelous, unexpected creations. Each day we see something that we never thought possible.
And unless thou think'st it far too soon, might I ask of thee a boon?
Why do you speak in rhymes?
I do not know. Why dost thou not? Thy words seem plain, a mundane lot. Perhaps a poet's soul's in me. Does that make me a poetry?
Poetry. Yeah, I get it.
It was but a simple jest, a jibe to entertain my guest.
What are you exactly?
I am an elder oak and nothing more. Though once I dreamt of a time before when I roamed the world and howled with pain, not of this world, but twixt and twain. Perhaps I was a spirit then, a wandering thing drawn to this glen. But then that spirit joined with a tree. Since then, a tree is all I be.
You're much more than just a tree.
There are many just as I, but mad they are, I shall not lie. A spirit trapped within a tree, no mouth to scream or eyes to see. A cage of bark, a prison wood, a thing of rage where nature stood. So twisted sylvan they become. But I am not the same as some. I accept my fated oaken home. I feel no need to rage and roam.
What's this boon you mentioned?
I have but one desire, to solve a matter very dire. As I slept one early morn, a thief did come and steal an acorn.
You mean this acorn?
My joy soars to new heights indeed. I am reunited with my seed. This cannot pass without reward. I shall give what little I can afford. Keep this branch of mine with thee, and pass throughout the forest free. I wish thee well, my mortal friend. Thou brought my sadness to an end. May the sunlight find you, thy days be long, thy winters kind, and thy roots be strong. The forest has not been vigilant enough. Still you come. You are stronger than we could have anticipated. The Dalish chose well, but you do not belong here, outsider. Leave this place.
Why won't you let me try to settle this dispute?
You are sent by the treacherous Dalish to kill Witherfang. I will not stand by and allow that to happen.
Why do you call the Dalish treacherous? You attacked them.
And they deserve no less. You are an intruder in our home. You come to kill, as all your kind do. We have learned this lesson well. Here, Witherfang protects us. Here we learn our names and are beloved. We will defend Witherfang and this place with our lives.
For the full thing!
We are invaded! Intruders have deceived their way into the forest's heart. Fall back to the ruins! Protect the lady!
Be careful now!
Stop! Brothers and sisters, be at ease. We do not wish any more of our people hurt. I ask you this now, outsider. Are you willing to parley?
We're talking right now, aren't we? So talk.
Not with me. I have been sent to you on behalf of the lady. She believes you may not be aware of everything you should be. She means you no harm, provided your willingness to parley in peace is an honest one.
If you were willing to talk, why didn't you earlier?
Swiftrunner did not think it would matter. The lady disagrees. And since you have forced your way this far, we must acquiesce to her wishes.
Is your lady Witherfang?
She is not Witherfang, but she can tell you of Witherfang if you ask. But first, you must agree to parley.
Then take me to this lady.
It wishes to speak to these creatures? What is the point? We've slaughtered our way this far. What's a bit further?
It's never a weakness to seek out alternatives, Shale.
Fine. Arguing with that logic will just give me a headache, I swear.
Follow me. But I warn you, if you break your promise and harm her, I will come back from the Fade itself to see you pay.
I bid you welcome, mortal. I am the Lady of the Forest.
I expected another werewolf.
No, that I am not. If I could have revealed myself sooner, I would have.
Do not listen to him, lady. He will betray you. We must attack him now.
Hush, Swiftrunner. Your urge for battle has only seen the death of the very ones you've been trying to save. Is that what you want?
No, my lady. Anything but that.
And the time has come to speak with this outsider, to set our rage aside. I apologize on Swiftrunner's behalf. He struggles with his nature.
As do we all.
Truer words were never spoken. But few could claim the same as these creatures, that their very nature is a curse forced upon them. No doubt you have questions, mortal. There are things that Zathrian has not told you.
How do you know what he has or has not told me?
Because there are things that he would not tell. Things that you should decide for yourself, whether you need to know. It was Zathrian who created the curse that these creatures suffer. The same curse that Zathrian's own people now suffer. Centuries ago, when the Dalish first came to this land, a tribe of humans lived close to this forest. They sought to drive the Dalish away. Zathrian was a young man then. He had a son and daughter he loved greatly. And while out hunting, the human tribe captured them both.
The humans tortured the boy, killed him. The girl they raped and left for dead. The Dalish found her, but she learned later she was with child. She killed herself.
That's horrible. They deserved whatever they got.
Indeed they did.
Zathrian came to this ruin and summoned a terrible spirit, binding it to the body of a great wolf. So Witherfang came to be. Witherfang hunted the humans of the tribe. Many were killed, but others were cursed by his blood, becoming twisted and savage creatures.
Twisted and savage, just as Witherfang himself is.
So the Dalish leader misled us.
They were driven into the forest. When the human tribe finally left for good, their cursed brethren remained, pitiful and mindless animals.
Until I found you, my lady. You gave me peace.
I showed Swiftrunner that there was another side to his bestial nature. I soothed his rage and his humanity emerged. And he brought others to me.
These werewolves seem plenty savage to me.
The curse cannot entirely be abated. Each new victim, it claims, must be brought to me before the healing can begin. We seek to end the curse. The crimes committed against Zathrian's children were grave, but they were committed centuries ago by those who are long dead. Word was sent to Zathrian every time the landships passed this way, asking him to come, but he has always ignored us. We will no longer be denied.
We spread the curse to his people, so he must end the curse to save them.
Please, mortal. You must go to him. Bring him here. If he sees these creatures, hears their plight, surely he will agree to end the curse.
Why would Zathrian agree to come here alone?
If Zathrian comes, I shall summon Witherfang. I possess that power. I also have the power to ensure Witherfang is never found. Tell Zathrian this. If he does not come, if he does not break the curse, he will never find Witherfang, and he will never cure his people.
And what if there's no way to break the curse?
I believe there is. There must be.
If there is no way, then he dies. Then they all die.
Very well. I will go to Zathrian and tell him this.
Then we shall await your return. Outside of this chamber, the passage leading back to the surface has been opened for you. Return with Zathrian as soon as you can.
Ah, And here you are already.
Zathrian, what are you doing here?
You have carved a safe path through the forest. Safe enough for me to follow, anyhow.
I don't like this one. Can we not simply crush its head?
There was no way to tell what would happen once you reached this ruin, so I decided to come myself.
You mean you wanted to make sure I got the heart?
Just so. Did you?
No, I didn't.
You didn't. May I ask then, why are you leaving the ruin?
So you knew about this ruin. Why didn't you tell me?
There was no need. I knew you would find it, and I did not care to give you a history lesson about things that have no bearing on your purpose here. But it seems the spirit convinced you to act on her behalf. Might I inquire what she wants?
Take a wild guess.
To survive, I suspect. That is the common nature amongst all such creatures, the will to survive. You do understand that she actually is Witherfang?
I thought Witherfang was a male wolf.
She is the powerful spirit of this ancient forest that I summoned long ago and bound in the body of the wolf. Her nature is that of the forest itself. Beautiful and terrible, serene and savage, maiden and beast. She is the lady and Witherfang both, two sides of a single being. The curse came first from her. Those she afflicted with it mirrored her own nature, becoming savage beast as well as human.
The curse came first from you.
They attacked my clan, and they were the same savages then that they have ever been. They deserve to be wiped out and not defended. Come, I will accompany you back to the ruin. Let us go and speak to the spirit, and I will force her into Witherfang's form. He may then be slain and the heart taken.
I assure you, the werewolves have regained their minds.
Even so, they are still the same worthless creatures that their ancestors were. They deserve nothing more than the misery they possess. This is not your battle, Grey Warden. Let us just take the heart and be done with it.
Do you still have so much hatred after all this time?
You were not there. You did not see what they did to my son, to my daughter, and so many others. You are not Dalish. How can you know how we had to struggle to be safe? How could I have let their crimes go unanswered?
But those crimes were committed centuries ago.
I remember them as if it were yesterday. Even if they are more than animals now, they desire nothing but revenge. They will never let my clan be.
So your answer is to let them suffer forever?
Tell me, if you held your own daughter's lifeless body in your arms, would you not also have sworn an eternity of pain on those who did such to her?
You're right. I would have done the same.
Then do you honestly expect me to go and speak to these loathsome creatures? To even consider absolving them of their sins?
Yes, I do.
Very well. You wish me to go and talk? I will do so. But what if it is only more revenge they wish? Will you safeguard me from harm?
I don't think it'll come to that.
I fail to see the purpose behind this, but very well. It has been many centuries now. Let us see what the spirit has to say. So here you are, spirit.
She is the lady of the forest. You will address her properly.
You've taken a name, spirit? And you've given names to your pets? These beasts who follow you?
It was they who gave me a name, Zathrian. And the names they take are their own. They follow me because I help them to find who they are.
Who they are has not changed from whom their ancestors were. Wild savages, worthless dogs. Their twisted shape only mirrors their monstrous hearts.
He will not help us, lady. It is as I warned you. He is not here to talk.
No, I am here to talk, though I see little point in it. We all know where this will lead. Your nature compels it, as does mine.
It does not have to be that way. There is room in your heart for compassion, Zathrian. Surely your retribution is spent.
My retribution is eternal, spirit, as is my pain. This is justice, no more.
Are you certain your pain is the only reason you will not end this curse? Have you told the mortal how it was created?
He said he summoned you and bound you to a wolf.
And so he did. Witherfang and I are bound as one being. But such powerful magic could not be accomplished without Zathrian's own blood. Your people believe you have rediscovered the immortality of their ancestors, Zathrian, but that is not true. So long as the curse exists, so do you.
No! That is not how it is!
So Zathrian's death would end the curse.
No. The curse has a life of its own, though Zathrian's life depends on it. His death plays a part in its ending, however.
Then we kill him! We tear him apart now!
For all your powers of speech, you are beasts still. What would you gain from killing me? Only I know how the ritual ends, and I will never do it.
Ha! You see? We must kill them all!
See? They turn on you as quickly. Do what you have come here to do, Grey Warden, or get out of my way.
I don't care, Zathrian. I won't help you do this.
Then you die with them. All of you will suffer as you deserve.
Enemies approaching! Very well.
I cannot defeat you.
Finish it! Kill him now!
Oh, somebody please kill somebody.
No, Swift Runner. We will not kill him. If there is no room in our hearts for mercy, how may we expect there to be room in his?
I cannot do as you ask, Spirit. I am too old to know mercy. All I see are the faces of my children, my people. I cannot do it.
Is that true, or are you just afraid of dying?
Perhaps I have lived too long. This hatred in me is like an ancient, gnarled root. It has consumed my soul. What of you, Spirit? You are bound to the curse just as I am. Do you not fear your end?
You are my maker, Zathrian. You gave me form and consciousness where none existed. I have known pain and love, hope and fear, all the joy that is life. Yet of all things I desire nothing more than an end. I beg you, Maker, put an end to me. We beg you, show mercy.
You shame me, Spirit. I am an old man, alive long past his time.
Then you will do it? You will end the curse?
Yes, I think it is time. Let us put an end to it all.
It's over. She's gone, and we're human. I can scarcely believe it.
You aren't gonna miss all that strength and speed?
Compared to the beast inside that we had to fight every moment, this is just fine. It feels glorious.
So what are you gonna do now?
We'll leave the forest, I suppose. Find other humans, see what's out there for us. It should be quite interesting, don't you think? Thank you. We'll never forget you.
It is done. The essence of the wolf's heart has banished all traces of cursed blood from the hunters. It is too bad that Zathrian had to die. I felt it when he departed. I think he was ready to go.
Did you know about his connection to the curse?
I suspected. But Zathrian did not like to talk about that. Nonetheless, the curse is over, and no one else will be subjected to it. It will be difficult to fill Zathrian's shoes. He was our keeper for many centuries, and he will be sorely missed. But I am keeper now. Let me say it officially then. I hereby swear to uphold the terms of the ancient contract our people formed with the Grey Wardens. Call, and we shall come, with great speed and purpose, and we shall strike at your foes. This I swear.
Thank you, Lanaya.
It has been a long time since the Dalish marched to war, but I trust that in the end, we shall make a difference for you.
You have returned. Is there any chance you have news of Dalilah?
I do.
You have news? Have you found her? Are you certain?
She gave me her scarf. See for yourself.
That is her scarf. Where did you find her? What's become of her?
She was a werewolf, just as you suspected.
So I was right. But what became of her?
She died, Athers, but not before she sent her love.
She told you that? Yes. That is what she would do. Then, it is over. I should be thankful, I think. At least she is at peace now. You have been most kind, my friend. Now I should go and make arrangements. I must mourn my wife as is proper. Dareth Shiral, fare you well.